welcome back to Sailing Saoirse. So we are coming to you from Ballito this week. We are home because
we're basically here to just see some friends and family, as well as while we were working on the boat we weren't really making any money at all. We were just charging out all the jobs on the boat, so in order to sail we actually have to make some money before we go, because it's not for free. You still have visas to pay for, unexpected costs, medical aid, food, all sorts of stuff like that. So I mean, it's not, everybody might think it's just great life sailing the high seas, checking all these awesome locations, but everything comes at a price. And
yeah,
I mean, you can do it for pretty cheap, but you can't do it for nothing. So that's why we're here.
Yeah, we spent a week in Saldanha before coming home. So we moved from Lungabarn to Saldanha and spent about 5 days there. And in those 5 days we all thought, now we need a break. It's been go, go, go this whole last 8 months. So we decided that we would go and see the flowers. Now on the west coast, they have flower season, which is just, it's unbelievable. People travel just to see these flowers. They pretty much cover all the ground in the upper Western Cape, along the coastline. So before we left, we knew we wouldn't be there for peak flower season, which is in September. So we still went out looking, and it was still amazing. It was just the beginning, and apparently it comes in waves of like white, then yellow and orange and purple, and then at the end of the season they kind of all come out together. But yeah, we pretty much just saw white, but it was still beautiful. Yeah, and then we went and found a canola field because we needed some flower energy. So we went and played in a canola field, which is probably pretty illegal, but you know, YOLO.
YOLO.
So yeah, we had a very uneventful last 5 days in the Western Cape, and we are going to be doing our video editing from Ballito while my parents carry on with work in Saldanha. So it's going to be a bit tricky getting all the footage from that side, this side, and everything else. So just bear with us in the next few weeks. We are probably in Ballito for a month or two. So yeah, that'll be about the next 6 episodes. We'll kind of show you a little bit of what we're doing here, which isn't much, but it'll be in the episodes, and then also all the work that's happening on Saoirse. Still showering in the ablution blocks because we haven't gotten our shower cubicles in yet. They are still being made at the moment, but I'm sure they'll be soon. But in the meantime, it's winter, so getting on the rubber duck and across to the clubhouse, you have to do it at about like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, because it just gets so cold at night, and getting in that rubber duck with wet hair and after a nice warm shower, it's not pleasant.
Not fun.
But luckily we've got normal showers here and unlimited water, so we still feel for my parents in Denver at the moment. But
we styling.
So we've all showered. Now, getting back in the dinghy to Saoirse way over there. Down that end of the world. Colben doing what he does best. The Western Cape is home to hundreds of different fynbos species, which all flowers pretty much at the same time between the middle of August and end of September. We were determined to find a canola field at least because we were a little bit disappointed with the flowers because it's still very early in the season. And on our way back to Langebaan, we found a beautiful canola field. So we were super chuffed with that. It's also really hard to see, but the pavements were covered in the smallest white flowers. Luckily for us, Langebaan Lagoon lies in the West Coast National Park, which is beautifully protected and pretty untouched. I can safely speak for all of us and say that we definitely all needed the downtime. The few days that we took off were amazing and so relaxing, but we all needed to get back. Colben and I back to Ballito, and my mum, dad and Denver back to working on Saoirse. We were all sitting in my cabin, well, Colben, my mum and I, I was hanging out the window because I saw there was a seal just like swimming, doing his thing, but like super slowly, and he kept coming up right to my window, and I was like, I'm against the back, and my mom's on.
I'm between the two women, okay, and I'm dead ahead of the window, dead in front of the window. Teagan is to my right hand side, but there's a headboard there, so she can't actually get out.
And my mom's lying on the doorway side, so yeah, she's petting the seal, and I'm just thinking, I'm screwed if this thing like needs to come eat us, because I can't get out of here, and my mom's not the fastest mover and shaker. So she's like petting it, it comes up, and she rubs it, and he's chilled, he loves that, it's chilled, and then she does this.
The wrong way.
She rubs him the wrong way, and oh my soul.
Oh shit.
Just wait.
So yeah, the seal was not happy with the back scratch. He was fine with the forward scratch, but don't scratch him backwards. So now I crawl up into the back of the corner of the room like, oh my soul, I can't go anywhere, and this thing looks like it's about to jump in with us. And
Firstly, what happened was, okay, so it got scratched backwards. Then the thing wakes up and turns around and looks like all three of us dead in the eyes, okay? And now it's a porthole, like an escape hatch, so it can just jump straight in the window, like it's right on the water as well. So this thing turns around and like starts coming towards the window. Teagan is absolutely beside herself. Like,
I was the one in the corner. They could climb out the cabin.
Like this thing's gonna jump out, and if it jumps in the window, it's gonna jump directly at me because I'm dead in front of the window.
And those things have teeth, so I was just like, oh my word, he's gonna maul me to death. And they just like having a laugh because they know they can get out if he does climb in. Cleo has also been acclimatizing to not having a dock to just jump off onto. She is also getting on the rubber duck, but she has got a bit of a history of... So Cleo's history is she lived at Mykonos with her family, and they packed up and abandoned her. She then kind of just moved into the offices and all the little shops that were around Mykonos. And the one winter, this is what we've...
One of the stories we've heard.
Yeah, one of the stories we heard was she tried to take cover and just be a bit warm in somebody's engine, and they started the car and the fan belt cut her across the back. So I don't know if you guys have noticed, but she does walk a bit funny, and she also has very sore bones, so we have got her on arthritis medication. But yeah, so she has a little bit of a backstory. So she's actually enjoying the downtime of not being able to go anywhere and no one forcing her to do exercise.
So was about the third day we were at Saldanha on the mooring ball, so it's just gone dark and we're about to start brying on the boat, and Teagan says, "Where's the cat?"
Yeah, because she's usually sleeping on our bed and she wasn't there. So
I'm sitting there, and now the Teagan and her mom are looking for the cat, and I think, oh, they'll find her wrapped up in somebody's clothes or in the bed or something. And yeah, we couldn't find her. And then
searched everywhere.
Like, okay, I came into the search like halfway through because I thought they would find her. I didn't think it was that serious. And then when they didn't find her in any of the cabins, I thought, okay, no, this is pretty serious. So now the Teagan is like absolutely frantic. She's looking at me like she's gonna have a breakdown. And
there were many tears because we had also looked up on deck and she was nowhere to be seen.
Yeah, the next place we searched was around the outside of the boat because she usually just like goes and walks around like onto the trampolines and by the anchor lockers and things. We turned all the lights on and couldn't find her still. So then the first thing I thought was the cat slipped off overboard when she was walking around. So we started dropping the duck straight away.
We had no torches that were charged.
We had no torches, which is a little
stupid
bit
on our part,
slacking on our side. Yeah. And what made things worse is that she's a black cat, and we're looking for a black cat at night. So I mean, with a torch that you can hardly see with,
and it was so dark.
The only thing you'd be looking for in the water is like disturbances.
Yeah, so and I was just scanning the water, scanning.
We hadn't seen her for like, she could have been missing for
about an hour
before we even noticed she was gone. So it was a really big scare.
It was so scary. My mom was crying her eyes out. I was trying not to throw up because I knew, how do you find a black cat in the water at night living off a mooring? It's not even like she could have swum to a dock.
And yeah, we just couldn't find her, and I started thinking to myself, well, you know, it's going to be a body search.
But I checked with my mum, and she had said the last time she saw Cleo she was going downstairs on her side. So I just kept going down, and I kept lifting everybody's duvets up and making sure she wasn't in there. And right as the boys got the rubber duck in the water, I said, okay, well, I'm just going to go search one more time. I was trying so hard not to throw up. I was so besides myself. And I ran downstairs, and Cleo replies to her name if you say it really, really high-pitched. We had done that the whole time we were looking for her, and there was not a peep from her. But something just made me do it super loud, over and over and over. And I was downstairs by the heads, and I just saw these little green eyes look at me, and I was like, and she was in the bottom of Denver's cabin's cupboard, which is a tiny little opening, and she's pitch black, and we had all the lights on, but that cabinet was so dark, you would never have spotted her if she hadn't. She literally turned around to me and she was like, meow, and I was like, my heart just stopped. My mom literally crumbled. My dad had to hold her up because we were just, it was so sad. Like, it was really, really scary. And it actually makes me not want to take Cleo on the boat because I can't imagine going through that.
It's a pretty big story if something would have to happen, and a lot of people travel with cats and dogs and everything like that, and it's
got a very big decision to make at the moment. We would love to take her, but
would we be able to live with ourselves if anything did have to happen is the real question.
Yeah.
Because we know going forward that if we do keep her on the boat, she hasn't grown up being on the boat.
And she's also an old girl, so...
Yeah.
But we're going to move forward with, we need to get her rabies teeters done and her pet passport done. So we're going to take it as it comes. We're going to see how much that costs. Obviously, if it's exorbitant, we can't afford it. So we are looking into all of that now, and if we can't afford to take her with us, we do want to find her a loving home. So yeah, we're not going to just dump her anywhere.
No, we would definitely find her a home before we left.
But that's kind of where we are at the moment with Cleo. Like, she has become such a big part of our hearts. Colben is besotted with her, even though he claims he's not, but he loves Cleo. So yeah, just a little bit of an update with that, and our biggest scare yet.
So basically Ballito is on the east coast of South Africa, and where the boat is on the west coast in Saldanha. So it's probably about 700-800 miles if we were to sail here. But it's a quick 2-hour plane flight, and we were lucky to come.
Yeah, with lockdown. So Colben and I are headed home to surprise his family. Just because we're leaving so late in the year, we thought we had a few months to spare, and we headed back to Ballito for about a month to work and fish and do everything Colben needs to do at home. So the airport's super quiet. Our first morning home, we walked down to the beach in front of Colben's parents' house and had a beautiful sunrise. We must say it's amazing to be able to see family and friends again. If you're enjoying our videos, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button.